Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of the Guy Midkiff Show. I am Guy, and today we're going to be focusing on a very specific hot topic that I see being bounced all over YouTube, and that is COLA versus Part B tug of war, why your raise doesn't really feel like one. So just a quick disclaimer before we jump into this too far. All of my videos are meant to be educational. They're meant to begin a conversation so that you can ask smart questions with your chosen qualified professional in the finance world. So every year it's the same headline, Social Security is going up. People hear that and they think, finally, a raise. But a lot of retirees don't feel a raise. They feel nothing. Or worse, they feel squeezed. Let me be clear on this. COLA is not a raise if your expenses rise faster. Today, I'm going to show you why. This is a tug of war between Social Security, COLA, and Medicare Part B. And it's the reasons your increases can disappear before it ever becomes spending money. Here's what you're going to see in this episode. First, why Social Security COLA is not the same thing as a real raise. Second, how Medicare Part B can absorb the increase before it ever hits your account. And third, the net cash flow test that tells you whether you actually came out ahead. And finally, a few practical moves so you're not surprised when the headline sounds good, but your bank balance doesn't. And by the way, let me just say, I've really been enjoying your comments. I've spent most of today going through and answering probably around 100 questions on previous shows. Thank you so much. Keep them coming. Really love them. Now let's talk about the COLA misconception. A COLA is not a raise in the way most people mean raise. A COLA is a formula-based adjustment. That's it. And here's the problem. Retirees don't spend on the CPI basket. CPI stands for Consumer Price Index. And the CPI basket is basically a government-defined shopping cart of goods and services used to estimate inflation. Here's the punchline. Retirees don't live in that shopping cart. Your inflation rate is not CPI. Retirees spend on the stuff that shows up every month, whether you like it or not. Healthcare, insurance, prescriptions, property taxes, utilities, groceries. That's why two retirees can get the same COLA and feel completely different. Why Part B makes it feel personal. Now, let's talk about the punch in the face, Medicare Part B. Most people don't write a check for Part B. It comes out automatically. It's deducted right from your Social Security deposit. So when the premium goes up, it doesn't feel like a separate bill. And it feels like your raise never arrived. COLA pushes your benefit up. Part B pulls your net deposit down. And your real spending money barely moves. And here's the part that most people miss. You can have a higher Social Security check and still have flat spending power. COLA up, spendable income flat, that's the trap. Let me say this plainly. If your fixed cost rise as fast as or faster than your COLA, then your raise is just a headline. That's why people get mad. They're not confused, they're doing the math, and the math isn't a reward to them. This recent increase, the COLA increase was 2.8%. So on $1,000, that's $28. That's $56 on $2,000 Social Security. So what's the real way to judge whether you got a raise or not? Net cash flow means what hits your account after Medicare premiums and what's left after your fixed expenses. If the numbers don't move up, well, you didn't get a raise. You got an adjustment. And you may be asking yourself right about now, why is this such a hot topic online? Well, because it's personal. Markets go up and down. Everybody expects that. But Social Security is supposed to be stable. Medicare is supposed to be manageable. And when the raise disappears, people feel like the system is playing tug of war with their livelihood. And to be fair, from their perspective, well, it really is. So why don't we talk about what you can actually do about it? You can't control the COLA formula. You can't control the Medicare premium changes, but you can control your plan. First, stop treating COLA like a pay raise. Treat it like a partial inflation relief, not a lifestyle upgrade. COLA is partial relief, not a pay raise. Second, forecast the thresholds before they hit you. Some retirees get blindsided by Medicare surcharges and tax bracket jumps. The pain isn't the rule, the pain is the surprise. Surprises kill plans. Forecast the thresholds. Third, build a healthcare buffer. This is not fear, this is realism. Healthcare inflation needs its own buffer. And fourth, keep flexibility in where spending comes from. When Social Security net is being squeezed, flexibility matters. Having multiple buckets to pull from gives you choices. In closing, so no, this isn't about some tiny increase that makes for a good headline. This is about the difference between what the government calls a raise and what your household experiences as a raise. And that's right, a headline raise versus a real life raise. So if you want peace of mind in retirement, you can't rely on headlines. You have to rely on the net cash flow and a plan that can absorb rising costs without forcing bad decisions. That's the tug of war. And now you know the rest of the story. Boy, I stole that from Paul Harvey, didn't I? Hey, and please remember my motto that health is wealth and wealth is freedom. Now get busy living. You guys have a great day. Thanks for listening to me. Love those comments. Keep them coming.